I'm gonna bring up. Y'all know who this is? The Maze Mad Man.
What's good, man?
Nothing much, bro. What's going on?
Man, I'm upset, man. Uh Obviously want to know, you know, good thing to be want to know. It feels good to be want to know. Hearing what you were saying, couldn't agree more. I think I brought up last night, we did an immediate reaction last night. I brought up the same thing. That weird rotation in the first quarter was crazy. And that's when I feel like they got some momentum, they got some rhythm, right? Mikey King got some rhythm. It just was inexplicable. There's no reason to do that at that moment in the game. It's not like we were up 25, 30 points at that time, right? I just
Yeah,
didn't get it. But
it was
yeah,
crazy.
man, it was a weird thing. What up, Twan?
It was crazy to see that, bro. Like, like why? Some of that stuff is unfathomable. I can't fathom why you would do that. The first game when you need to get these starters locked in. Like,
Right.
okay, I see Will Johnson is locked in. I see Barham is locked in. Makari, they're locked in. All right, get time to sit down. You know,
Right.
that's what you do. Like, bro, what are you switching these dudes out for? How can they get in a rhythm? Like, I can see if that's what you do with your D linemen, because they're gonna
Right.
play a lot of snaps. That's smart. That's what you do for them.
Yeah.
Corners,
Corner doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of crazy because uh, with a position like corner, a guy can get out of rhythm, like you know what I mean? You want to keep that engine revving, you want to keep those guys, locked in, like you said, and ready to go. And being on the field to see in real time what the offense is doing and adjustments if they're making them is different than getting cold watching guys that aren't as good as you, quite frankly, um, you know, get out there. I thought Jair Hill played accounted himself well for his first start.
yeah, he did
Um, Miles Pollard, as soon as homie saw Miles Pollard out there,
instantly.
barbecue chicken.
Mm.
Uh, he wasn't ready for the moment, right? He wasn't ready for that moment. But yeah, I like Jair Hill. I think Zeke Berry played exceptionally well.
Mhm.
Makari Page, he's a beast.
I hate they
Um,
took his pick away.
yeah, man, that was good. 3 picks, well, would be picks because Quentin Johnson didn't get the pick, but that call was trash. That roughing the passer call,
Yeah, that was
atrocious.
straight garbage.
Yeah, bro, crazy.
I don't know what that was that last drive. I think Will Johnson had enough trouble. I'm calling him trouble this year because you keep throwing over there. You're gonna get
Yeah,
into trouble.
yeah.
You're
They were
gonna get
taking
into trouble.
chances all night with Will, man.
Yeah, and he got away the first time. The first throw, I think Will was mad at himself because he wanted that one.
Right.
You
In that
know,
first quarter, right?
Yep, yep.
That was almost a house call, yeah.
I thought he had it. I was like, I told my group chat, I'm like, he gonna get one if because they keep throwing over there. He gonna get one.
Right.
And when he got that one, that was a nasty pick. You don't see dudes pick screens like that.
You don't. And I thought that was big too because of the moment too, because they had some a little momentum. Um, and they were knocking on the door again. And he had been picked on even in the last couple drives leading up to that. And for him to get it and really close the door in that moment, that shows like that's a Charles Woodson-esque type, interception in that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was nasty. That was big time. But
Yeah.
he's that type of dude. We've seen that his whole career pretty much, whether that was Ohio State last year, watched the national championship, the Big Ten championship 2 years ago. He's that type of dude.
Yeah.
Like his caliber is just big time. Some dudes step up in the big time moments. Let me read this real quick. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Stay angry. Tuttle 2023 spring game on YouTube. We played the best against the number one defense. Y'all can't bash me no more for calling for him. Hey, I I hate that you right. You right. It look like you right, dog. So what do you think about Orgy? What do you think about the quarterbacks? Like, what do you got?
So immediately after, I was like, man, did we pick the right dude? Like 15 to 25, 118 yards. I think he had like it was like 4 yards a pass, bro. Like that's not great. And then Orgy, of course, got the touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, the pass to Donovan, which by the way had me excited. I'm like, oh, Donovan gonna have a great game.
I
He
think
got
we
this
all were
touchdown at
like,
the one. You know,
yes,
this
it's
gonna be a breeze.
happening.
Right. And that was like the highlight of the game for Donovan Edwards, by the way, because he had a bunch of lowlights, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
But so I thought that was good. And at the time, like the commentators brought it up, like everybody in the building, everybody watching thought that would be a run, right? It was going to be a Orgy run it in, but to see him, and even though it was like a 5-yard pass, it wasn't nothing crazy, but to see him, that just added a different wrinkle, and I thought that was good. So now when we see Orgy in the game, it's not just to run it, but as the game progressed, and I talked about this last night, every time Orgy got in the game, for the most part, except for like one or two plays, that horrible pass to Tyler Morris that landed like 4 yards in front of Tyler Morris, that was horrible. And then one other play he got stuffed. But other than that, every play he was moving forward. The ball was moving forward, right? But Tuttle, man, I heard Doc talk about was he locked on to Colston Loveland? And I don't necessarily believe he was locked on to Colston Loveland. I like what you said. I think he was locked on to whoever that first read was. He was going to throw it no matter what. Whoever that is getting the ball thrown to them. And it just so happened that Colston Loveland is just a phenomenal athlete. He's a big dude, and he caught a bunch of those, right?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think we have a quarterback one in terms of like the traditional, oh, this is our guy, he can make it happen, right? But I also would like to see more of Orgy because I think he could be that, right? Just because of all of the thinking that the defense has to do when he's on the field, right?
Yep.
It's more than just but first of all, he has to learn how to complete a pass of significance. You know what I mean? Like we got to see that because I think if he starts completing 10, 12, 15-yard passes, then it's really on, right? Like then they really got to think about it.
Yeah, because the offensive line needs his help. You need the defense to account for, okay, this guy's in. I can't just crash down on Donovan or Mullins. Like we need him to help the run game. And we saw it for most of the game until the fourth quarter. They were just pinning their ears back. Like, okay, this dude's locked on the first read. He's not a threat with his legs.
Right.
We're not giving up nothing in the run game.
Yeah, and they were kind of disrespecting the receivers. And I don't even necessarily think it was like the receiver's fault that they were getting disrespected that way. I think that was more about Orgy. I mean, not Orgy, but Warren. And they weren't afraid of Warren more than they weren't afraid of the receivers because we saw Tyler Morris get behind the defense. That pass just wasn't completed. We saw Fred Moore get behind the defense. That was horribly underthrown. Now, granted, could Fred Moore have fought better, become a defender at that point to try to prevent the interception? Sure, but both of those guys got behind the defense and just needed better passes.
Yeah, that's a fact. It was troubling. It was troubling for real because we heard this, and this is my problem with this because all off season it was Orgy.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks ago it was okay, Davis Warren is taking over. Okay. This is what took over?
Yo.
You're telling me this is what took over?
Facts, bro. If this was it, bro, then we are in trouble. Because that's not great. It wasn't great.
Yeah, it was obvious. A lot of the times you can't exactly see what was going on. If you know football, you could see that he was locked on that first read and not going through his reads and just checking it down.
Right.
3rd and 9, bro. Like there's good blocking. Read the field. Like,
bro, I couldn't be talking to check out to Donovan in like the 3rd and long situation. That wasn't even. I don't even think he looked at anybody else.
He didn't.
Yeah,
He fake scanned the field and
yeah,
went right out there. Donovan's got
crazy.
like 2-3 guys on him, bro. You going There was 2 times he almost got Donovan killed twice last night,
Yes, on
and
that
he
the
almost got Mullins killed once.
yeah, no doubt, bro. First of all, let's talk about this for a second. Donovan needed some confidence anyway last night, and you hung him out to dry, especially on the crosser, the running back crosser, whatever. And then the joint in the flat. Like he don't need those type of plays at this point. He needs something going forward to help with his confidence because I really think Donovan is a player that works on building that confidence. I heard you talk about he needs the carries. Yes, he needs those carries to help build that confidence because once he's there, he's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they need to get him those carries. They need to get him in the flow of the game. But Orgy, I mean, I keep saying Orgy. It's not Orgy. Warren left my man out to dry. Damn near got him killed on that crosser. That was bad. And then the flat play was horrible too. But Donovan Edwards, bro, it was one of those pass pros where he was supposed to take the blitzer and he just half took a step forward, almost got my man killed. But I again think that's all about his confidence and building that confidence as the game wanes. And he definitely is a player that needs that.
Yeah, he needs that. He's always been like that. He's just that kind of guy that if you're lucky, maybe the offensive line, parts like the Red Sea, and he can get an early one. But
Right.
if it doesn't, you got to feed him. You got to feed him because you're going to get the payoff. It's just like the offensive line in the running game. The offensive line, okay, we're going to wear you down first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Okay, now we get the dividends. Donovan's the
Right.
same way. You got to keep feeding him, and then you'll get the dividends later on because he's going. Just think about some of those games last year. If he didn't pop off that big 70, 80-yard run, his
Mm-hmm.
numbers wouldn't have been that good.
Fact.
He had like 700 yards in like 3 games or something. It was ridiculous.
Nah,
But
no
if he
doubt.
doesn't get those big long runs, his numbers would have been pedestrian.
I agree. By the way, real quick, because I see it's like 100 something people in the live. Johnny only got 36 likes, man. It's really easy and it doesn't cost you any money to hit the big thumbs up under the live. It helps with the algorithm, help people get in tune with this content. By the way, if you on mobile, just hit the X in the chat, then hit the thumbs up, then you can go back to the chat. It's really not hard. But yeah, so um
Appreciate that.
nah, no doubt. One of the things that did stand out to me, I know you were when I came on the live, you were talking about Wink Martindale, uh some of the choices he was making, which some of those were crazy, especially like the blitzing that I think got them the touchdown, the one touchdown they got, right? The zero blitz, where he sold out on that was no need to do it. And whoever that defender was in space, I don't know if it was McBurrows or um whoever that was, just horrible job of getting to the football and open space tackling. But other than that, I thought the defense played pretty well. That inexplicable rotating of the corners was stupid, but it was pretty good. Other than that, and the linebacker, what did you think about Barham? I was expecting more out of him. Not to say that he had a bad game, but maybe just some over pursuits and stuff like that. What did you think about that?
I think I was expecting he played good, but I think I was expecting a little more from him. He
Right.
played good. He looked good blitzing,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It was just I guess maybe the hype was a little bit too much.
Right.
And
Right.
I'll say this in the run, they shut down their run game. There was like nothing there, like pretty much all night.
Yeah.
But I think where we're gonna have to see is about the coverage when we were trying to run zone or man. How does he look in coverage? Because I
Right.
see it seemed like he got beat in the zone, like his zones, the way he has to manipulate the zone. I think we're gonna have to watch that, to see how good he is at that.
No doubt. Well, look, man, I wanted to hop up. holler at you for a minute. I'm gonna jump down. I know some other people probably want to get on, but great show as always. Can't wait to get you on the Maze Madman channel too. We got to work that out. But yeah, man, I'm gonna holler at you in a minute.
Got you. I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt.